He read it the way 8-year-olds read everything, out loud, proud, with the particular performance of a child who has just learned that reading is a skill worth demonstrating. To Noah, hope this birthday is as special as you are to us, almost like a real grandson. The living room went completely silent. Not the comfortable silence of a pause between conversations, the specific silence of 12 people simultaneously understanding that something had just been said that could not be unsaid, and that a child had been the one to say it. I was standing 4 feet away with a plate of birthday cake in each hand. I watched my 8-year-old son look up from the card with the open expression of someone waiting for the room to react the way rooms usually react to birthday cards. Nobody moved. Noah looked at me. I set the plates down on the table behind me, carefully, without breaking anything. My name is Emily Carter. I am 28 years old. I am a dental hygienist in Columbus, Ohio. I have been married to Derek for 6 years, and the woman who wrote those words in her careful, deliberate cursive, almost like a real grandson, is his mother, Patricia. Before I take you back to where this started, subscribe and leave a like. Drop your city and your time in the comments. I read every single one. This story ends quietly. The quiet ones always last the longest. Stay with me. Let me take you back to the beginning. Noah was born when Derek and I had been married for 2 years. He arrived 3 weeks early, small, loud, absolutely certain of his place in the world from his first hour in it. He had Derek's nose and my stubbornness, and a laugh that arrived before he was developmentally supposed to have one. We brought him to meet Patricia when he was 11 days old. She held him for 4 minutes. I timed it without meaning to. I was watching the clock on the microwave in her kitchen, while Derek stood beside her, and she looked down at my son with an expression I did not have a word for yet. Not warmth, not the particular softness I had watched her use with her daughter Melissa's children, the 2 grandchildren who existed before Noah, who had their own drawer of toys at Patricia's house and their own photographs on the mantel and their own names written on the Christmas stockings she had ordered in matching embroidery. Noah did not have a drawer. He did not have a stocking. I told myself it was too early, that relationships with grandchildren built over time, that I was reading too much into stockings. I was not reading too much into stockings. The years between Noah's birth and his 8th birthday established the shape of what Patricia was and was not willing to offer my son. Melissa's children, Ella and Cooper, ages 9 and 7, were the grandchildren she spoke about publicly, brought to her church events, photographed at Christmas, and referenced in conversations with neighbors. Noah was Derek's son. He was acknowledged, he was given gifts at appropriate occasions, he was present at family gatherings. He was not chosen. The distinction, and I have thought about this distinction for 8 years, is everything. Noah felt it before he had language for it. At 5, he asked me why Grammy's house had pictures of Ella and Cooper but not him. I told him Grammy loved him. He accepted this with the trust of a 5-year-old who has not yet learned that love and actions are 2 separate things. At 7, he stopped asking. Children who stop asking usually have found their own answer. And then came the birthday card. The 12 people in my living room were Derek, my mother and father, Derek's father, Richard, who was Patricia's ex-husband and had driven from Cincinnati specifically for Noah's birthday, my sister Jess and her husband, 3 of Noah's friends from school and their parents, Patricia, and Noah, who was still holding the card, who was still looking at me with the open, waiting expression of a child who does not yet understand why the room has gone wrong. I crossed to him in 3 steps. I took the card gently from his hands. I said, with every ounce of steadiness I possessed in that moment, "Why don't you go see what's in the gift bag, buddy?" He went, because he was 8 and there was a gift bag and the room's energy had shifted in a way he did not understand but could feel, and gift bags are reliable when rooms are not. I stood with the card in my hand. I did not look at Patricia immediately. I looked at Derek. He was looking at his mother. His face was doing something I had not seen it do before, a specific kind of stillness that was not calm, but the suppression of something that was not calm. He had read the card. He understood what it said. He understood what it meant. Patricia was sitting in the armchair by the window. She had brought a gift in a blue bag with tissue paper and a card in a cream envelope with Noah's name written in her careful cursive. She had arrived 40 minutes ago with the practiced warmth she always deployed at family events. The hugs, the compliments, the way she engaged with the room that made her seem, to people who did not know the pattern, like a perfectly lovely grandmother. She was looking at her hands now. She did not look at me. If you have ever been in a room where something has been revealed that the person who revealed it is now pretending they did not reveal, drop a comment. Because Patricia's expression in that moment was not remorse. It was the specific expression of someone calculating whether what happened could still be managed. Stay with me. I put the card in my pocket. I served the birthday cake. I watched Noah blow out 8 candles with his friends around him, and his whole face lit up, and I thought, he does not know yet what almost like a real grandson means, and I am going to make sure that when he is old enough to understand it, he is also old enough to understand that it was never true. The party ended at 4 o'clock. People left in the way people leave parties where something uncomfortable has happened, quickly, warmly, with extra care in their goodbyes. Derek's father, Richard, pulled me aside near the door. He was 63 years old, retired, the kind of man who said less than he thought and meant everything he said. "I'm sorry," he said. Just that, no elaboration. "I know," I said. He hugged me once, brief, firm, and left. Patricia was the last to go. She said goodbye to Noah with the same practiced warmth. She hugged Derek. She looked at me. "Emily, drive safe, Patricia," I said. She left. I closed the door. I stood in my hallway with the birthday card in my pocket and 12 paper plates on the dining room table, and my son's laugh coming from the living room where he was showing Derek his new gift. Almost like a real grandson. I took the card out of my pocket, read it once more, then I put it back and went to help clean up. We talked after Noah was asleep. I had waited for this, not impatiently, but with the particular focus of someone who knows a conversation needs to happen in the right conditions to go the right way. Noah in bed, house quiet, both of us sitting at the kitchen table with the specific quality of attention that the kitchen table demanded. I put the card on the table between us. Derek looked at it. He had been waiting for this too. "I don't know what she was thinking," he said. "I do," I said. "She was thinking exactly what she wrote. She's been thinking it for 8 years. This is just the first time she wrote it down." He did not argue. That was the thing about Derek. When he was confronted with something true, he did not construct defenses. He sat with it, sometimes too long, sometimes in ways that had frustrated me over 6 years of marriage. But in this moment, his stillness was not avoidance. He picked up the card, read it again, set it down. "I should have said something years ago," he said. "Yes. The stockings, the photographs, the way she talks about Ella and Cooper at church. Yes. I kept telling myself it would get better. I know," I said. "I told myself the same thing for a while. Then I stopped." He looked at me. "What do you want to do?" he asked. My friend Jess had texted me from the car on the way home. She had been at the party. She had heard Noah read the card. Her text said simply, "Whatever you decide, I'm with you. Also, I love that kid so much it hurts." I had held my phone for a minute after reading it. The symbol in this story is the birthday card. Cream envelope, careful cursive, almost like a real grandson in the handwriting of a woman who had spent 8 years performing warmth while categorizing my son as secondary. I had put it back in my pocket, brought it to the kitchen table, and now it sat between Derek and me like a piece of evidence at a hearing neither of us had requested. "I'm not going to confront her," I said. "I've thought about it. I know what she would say. She'd say she didn't mean it the way it sounded. She'd cry. You'd feel pulled in two directions. Noah would sense the tension and think it was about him. Derek was quiet. "So what are you going to do?" he asked again. "I'm going to remove access, quietly, on my timeline. No announcement, no confrontation. I'm going to stop bringing Noah to her house, stop including her in his milestones, stop arranging the relationship that she has never chosen to build herself." "She'll notice," Derek said. "Yes," I said, "she will. And when she asks?" "I'll tell her the truth," I said, calmly, once, without anger, "and then I'll let her decide what she wants to do with it." Derek looked at the card on the table. "I should call her," he said. "That's your choice to make," I said. "She's your mother, but I need you to understand. I am done managing the relationship between Patricia and our son. That was never my job, and I am not doing it anymore." He nodded. It was the nod of a man who understood that something had shifted and that the shifting was correct. That subscribe button is right there. Because what happened when Patricia finally noticed, and what she said when Derek told her, I did not see it coming. Not all of it. I did not send a letter. I did not make a phone call. I did not schedule a confrontation over coffee with carefully prepared talking points. I simply stopped. Noah's school play in November, I did not tell Patricia about it. I told Derek. He attended. Patricia was not informed. Noah's first lost tooth, photographed, celebrated, the dollar from the tooth fairy saved in his special box, Patricia was not texted. Christmas, we went to my parents. Derek's father, Richard, came. Patricia was invited to a separate gathering on December 27th. Low-key, brief, the gathering of people who exist in your life at a certain distance. She arrived with gifts. She was pleasant. She stayed 2 hours. Noah was polite, the way children are polite to adults they have categorized as peripheral. He had not forgotten the card. Children that age do not forget things that change the temperature of a room. He had not mentioned it again, but I had watched over the months that followed the subtle way he had recalibrated his relationship with his grandmother. The hugs became briefer. The eagerness disappeared. He was not rude. He was simply accurate. Patricia called Derek in February. She had noticed. He told me about the call that evening. She had said she felt distant from Noah, that she felt like she was being kept at arm's length, that she did not understand what had changed. Derek had told her about the card. Not the way I would have said it. Derek was gentler than I was in these situations, which was his limitation and his grace. But he had said it. He had told his mother that the words she had written had been read out loud in an 8-year-old in a room full of people, and that those words had revealed something about how she had always seen our son. Patricia had said she did not mean it the way it sounded. Derek had said, "Mom, he read it out loud at his birthday party, in front of his friends. What way did you mean it?" She had not had an answer. She called me a week later. I answered. I had said I would tell her the truth calmly once without anger, and I kept that. She said she was sorry. I said I heard her. She said she had not meant to hurt him. I said the impact was the same regardless of the intention. She said she wanted to do better. I said that was her choice to make, and I hoped she would make it. I did not cry. I did not raise my voice. I did not list 8 years of stockings and photographs and almost like a real grandson in the careful accounting of grievances. I said what was true, and I stopped talking. She has been, in the 18 months since that phone call, different. Not transformed. Transformation takes years and genuine reckoning and a willingness to be uncomfortable that Patricia has not fully demonstrated, but different. She asks about Noah specifically now. She attended his school play last spring. She brought a gift that showed she had been paying attention to what he liked. Noah received all of it with the careful neutrality of a child who has learned to wait and see. I thought about the birthday card sometimes. I still had it, in the drawer of my nightstand. Not to remember the wound, to remember what it cost to be honest about it. the card in the cream envelope with the careful cursive, the sentence an 8-year-old read out loud in a room full of people. The moment the truth stopped being manageable. My name is Emily Carter, and I stopped managing other people's relationship with my son and started protecting it instead.